暴密，生意不可长。
Just a few years ago, Chinese social media was flooded with luxury cars, designer handbags, and exotic vacations. Today, the picture has changed completely. Instead of flaunting wealth, millions of Chinese people have entered a bizarre new trend, competing over who owes more debt. Why is this happening? How did China, once an economic powerhouse, fall into a crisis where ordinary people are drowning in debt? And could this debt bomb explode and shake the entire world economy? Welcome to China Panorama. Let's dive into the astonishing story behind the debt wave sweeping across China. On platforms like Weibo, Douyin, and Xiaohongshu, posts are now full of desperate phrases like,
I can't pay anymore.
My salary was cut.
I can't afford my mortgage.
Instead of hiding it, people are ironically showing off how much debt they have. Some post, I owe 500,000 yuan. Others reply, that's nothing. I'm drowning in 2 million yuan of debt. It's dark humor that has gone viral across social media. But beneath the laughter lies fear, anxiety, and a sense of hopelessness. The trend even has a name: who owes more? Years ago, debt was shameful in Chinese culture. Saving money and avoiding loans were considered virtues. But over the past 2 decades, things have changed dramatically. As China's economy boomed, banks and fintech companies unleashed a wave of easy credit. Mortgages, car loans, credit cards, consumer loans, and most dangerously, online lending platforms like Jibei and Huabei. Suddenly, being able to borrow money became a symbol of status. A blogger born in the 1980s recalled how his mother once said everything they owned, house, business, was built on loans. At the time, he thought people who could borrow money were impressive. But now, he says debt feels like a noose around his neck. Monthly bills are like death warrants. For many, debt has become synonymous with failure. A famous blogger named Dasao at Big Sao shared a desperate message from a follower.
I own 2 houses. I owe 1.2 million yuan for mortgages, 35,000 yuan in credit card debt, and 400,000 yuan in online loans. 90,000 from Alipay, 100,000 from Duke Xiaoman, 110,000 from JD and Yixianghua. I can't keep up with online payments. Selling my houses won't even cover the debt. My family can't help. My wife hasn't divorced me only because of our kids. I'm panicking and meeting scammers while looking for advice.
He's not alone. There's a term for people like him: big credit customers. Their credit reports are full of inquiries, showing they're desperately seeking new loans. But the more inquiries they have, the less likely banks are to lend them money. Apps like Jibei, Huabei, WeBank, and JD Finance have made borrowing money easier than ever. With just a few clicks, people can borrow hundreds of thousands of yuan without strict checks. During China's economic boom, many saw debt as a shortcut to a better life. A young woman named Lily from Shanghai shared,
We flaunted how rich we were. Now, we flaunt how much debt we have. I owe 10 million. Someone else owes 100 million. It's like a competition over who's sinking deeper.
Lily worked at a software company that stopped paying salaries. She fell into over 30,000 yuan of debt, and ironically, now makes money telling her bankruptcy story online. About 70% of Chinese household wealth is tied to real estate. But the property market has crashed. Prices in many cities have dropped as much as 5%, wiping out 19 trillion yuan in home value. Many homeowners now owe more than their properties are worth. Blogger Bianjing Zhongwen Shuo revealed shocking numbers. In 2020, 1.33 million homes were auctioned. In 2021, this rose to 1.68 million. In 2022, the government stopped releasing auction data. Estimates suggest that in 2022, 3.2 to 3.8 million homes were auctioned off. In 2023, it could be 5 million homes. The consequences are devastating. Job losses mean people can't pay mortgages. Courts auction off their homes. Years of hard work vanish overnight. One netizen wrote,
"Debt is like a bomb. You never know when it will explode."
"The debt crisis is reshaping Chinese society. About 80% of urban households are burdened by housing loans. In rural areas, people rely on consumer loans or borrowing from friends and family. Even middle-class families with stable incomes often owe hundreds of thousands or millions of yuan. The result? People drastically cut spending. Young people delay marriage or having kids. Businesses lose customers because people have no money left. A new saying has spread. Every household runs out of money by the end of the month. Salaries vanish instantly into loan payments. Social media has shifted from showing off wealth to expressing fear and despair. This is not just a personal problem. It's a threat to China's entire economy, and even to political stability. The Economist warns that rising debt is crushing China's middle class, weakening consumption, undermining the Communist Party's economic foundation. Household debt as a share of GDP has soared from 11% in 2006 to over 60% today. Gavekal Dragonomics estimates 25 to 34 million Chinese have already defaulted on loans. Including those behind on payments, it could reach 61 to 83 million people, and that's only household debt. China also faces local government debt crises, massive corporate debts, real estate developers collapsing under debt burdens. All of this could slow China's economy further and spark social unrest. Official numbers often hide the real problem. China's central bank reports, by late 2024, household debt was 89.72 trillion yuan. But their own research unit suggests it might be 103.5 trillion yuan, 15% higher. Shockingly, researchers at Beijing Normal University estimate total household debt could be 200 trillion yuan, double official figures. A financial blogger explains, the government no longer publishes how many people are under court enforcement for debts, the so-called Lao Lai. In 2019, there were already 14.43 million Lao Lai. That's at least 1 in every 100 Chinese people. Millions more are not yet legally in default, but are drowning in debt. One expert put it bluntly,
Even if you're not blacklisted, living under constant loan pressure is like living in prison.
on what happens next. Many fear China's personal debt bomb could explode, leading to a banking crisis, mass bankruptcies, collapsing property prices, even social unrest. Chinese economic bloggers warn,
The government uses debt to boost consumption. But when the economy slows, that logic becomes dangerous. The government looks like it's helping you achieve your dreams, but it's just giving the economy a painkiller with a huge long-term cost.
can China escape? Some believe the government will bail out the financial system, risking inflation. Others think painful deleveraging is unavoidable, meaning years of slower growth, high unemployment, and social tension. Meanwhile, millions of Chinese live day-to-day under crushing debt. China's economic miracle lifted hundreds of millions out of poverty, but it also created a society trapped in debt. Today, instead of flaunting Ferraris or luxury fashion, millions of Chinese ironically flaunt how much they owe. It's a tragedy wrapped in dark humor, and a warning about how quickly fortunes can change. the world should pay close attention. Because if China's debt bomb explodes, it won't just be China that feels the shockwaves. It could shake the global economy. Thank you for watching China Panorama. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Tell us in the comments, do you think China can escape its debt crisis? Or is this bomb destined to explode?